Hello, this is part 3 of an easy method to rebind the Bible. So this could be done without a lot of skills or knowledge on Bible making, and so I just want to go over the measurements. This would be probably the key part of how to do Bible rebind. So the main part of this is to use a piece of paper that is going to go in the cover. Now it adds a nice kind of thick feel to the cover by having that paper in there. I've had two Allen Bibles, and one of them has a very thin cover, which I like, and another Reader's Bible had a really nice thick feel to the cover, and I feel like it replicates that feel that I liked on that Allen Reader's Bible by having that a little bit of an extra thickness to it. This Bible does not have the paper in it, and the measurements weren't quite right. This front end is a little longer than the back, than the top and bottom. So this will help avoid that, and it keeps everything really straight and square. So basically, in summary, the two measurements to remember are 3/8 of an inch and 1/2 an inch. So to get a cover is to figure out the cover size of the Bible that's being rebound. To come up with this length of cover where your overlap is going to be pretty easy to do. We're going to want a 1/2 inch overlap, and we want to extend this cover by 3/8 of an inch from the manufacturer's cover. So we take the cover, add 3/8 to this side, and then that becomes our inside cover. That's what this becomes. And then we take our outer leather and add 1/2 an inch to that on all sides, and that becomes our wrap. So let's quickly do that. I'll do this as fast as I can. So the measurements I'm giving today are for the large print value thin line Bible. So I already started. So for this Bible, it's basically 5/13/16 for the spine. Right, so right here is 5/13/16, 6/13/16, and 12 5/8. So that's going to be our dimensions, and we're going to do this and then verify it with the cover. I just want to make sure that I'm using 3/8. So this is basically it. It's that quick. Now we need to cut this out, but for now I won't cut it out. However, I will. I'm gonna mark this here. Right. So this is going to become the spine. Should have used the bone folder. So okay. So this is the inside cover. This is the back. Now I'm going to fold this in half to find my center over here. Okay. So this becomes the center rib right there. Now I just need to measure 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches, and on this side, so we're going with 1.5 inches, and I'm just going to quickly do this. So I'm starting to get a very symmetrical cover here. Now, I'm not going to cut this out yet and show the result yet. I want to first take the cover off this Bible. So, and we're going to lay it, actually we could lay it flat, but so actually we could do this without cutting the cover. And let's check our measurement. So I'm actually at 1/2 inch instead of the 3/8, which is fine. 1/2 inch or 4/8 will work well, especially with a thicker cover. If it's thinner, 4/8 might create a little bit longer front. So let's take this cover off. So I opened up the Bible and I cut it down the center. And now I can rip off the cover. Okay. All right, so this is the top. So this is our Bible. It gets rebound. That's gonna be cleaned up. Okay, so now let's check our cover. So now when I lay it flat, this is actually, it's about 3/8. This is showing just a little bit smaller than 3/8. So I did find that these covers do come in different lengths from the manufacturer, so they're not all the same. But if you go with 3/8, it looked like it was 4/8 or 1/2 inch when it was on the Bible, and then when it's taken off, it's about 3/8 is what we're trying to get. So that's, and also the height, we're gonna go with the height the same as this cover. We just add a little extra to make up for the room that it's gonna take here. So that's how we get our measurements, and this could be done with any cover. If we take this Bible cover, this is one I rebound, we mark it out, add 3/8 here, fold it in half to find our center, mark it, we will get the same result. We'll get a good Bible. So let's quickly cut this out. All right. So the next step with your measurements, we need to get the Bible to fit into the cover nicely. And also we need the outside leather to be even and nice. So the way to do that is to cut out pieces of leather from this point to this point. So in this case, over here, it's 7 by 9. So we have two pieces of leather that are 7 by 9. And they are placed here and basically glued down. So we glue from here. We don't glue the spine. We glue here and glue this down. And take the bone folder and work the leather like that. And we do that on both sides. And also we need a 1-inch strip. So we could take our 1-inch ruler over here, cut a piece of leather, and glue it down the center. So at this point we get an even inside cover because we have it nice and square with this piece of paper. We flip it over, and from the cover I cut out, usually from the edge, if I take this, cut this, and then go about 1/4 inch. So this is going to be the ribs on the back of the spine, and cut this. Okay, so we glue this on here. All right. So that's how that works. When this is done, these pieces become this. This is glued together. In this case, leather, I use leather, but it's the same idea. Here's your centerpiece, and these are your two ends. Next, we round the corners with using a radius of a dime. So that's covered in another video, how to round corners. But this is, in summary, how to get your measurements for the Bible. And this will keep a really nice square cover. Now, the next step is to prepare the Bible, but it doesn't go in here yet. We paint the edges, glue the ribbon, reinforce the spine, and then that dries. So while that's drying, the next step after that is to do the measurements on your outside cover. So let's just quickly do that so we see how that's done. So we basically fold this over. We want to check our leather, see where it's going to go, and where we want the different components. So this will make the back cover. So flip this over. Now we need 1/2 inch around the perimeter. So what we're going to do is take our pen, or a pen, in our 1/2 inch measuring tool that was mentioned in the tools video, and basically a weight would be good here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to So there is the leather that we need to cut out. So I'm going to quickly do that. Now I cut out just a little bit bigger than my line. The reason is because it's going to get trimmed after the leather's paired. But I just want to show how we get the measurements. Okay. Also, the leather is going to stretch quite a bit, so if the leather is too small in certain spaces, like the corners or different areas, it can be stretched quite a bit, even up to an inch or half an inch. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing is, when this leather's paired, we're probably gonna get nicks in the sides. So after pairing, we basically trim it up again. So now for pairing, we do want to start off with pairing the line where this is going to crease over. We want that thinned out. So let's just make sure we have enough space. Okay. All right. So here's our leather measurements now. So we got this with the ruler and the cover. Our outside leather dimension is determined from this, and we just add half an inch. This was 3/8 bigger, 3/8 bigger than the original cover. So that's basically it. The next step here, which I'm not going to do on video, but it's we pair this, we round the corners, which is in the rounded corner video, and then it gets glued all around. So after it's paired, this gets glued on, and we retrim the leather. So before it gets rolled over, everything is perfectly square back to this. So that's about it. And the next video, I'll have the cover, and we'll basically just glue the Bible into the cover. Thank you.